Alright, it has been quite some time. I'm back streaming on my own channel. Still going to be doing stuff with Sound Goblin Gaming, don't think otherwise. But it's a new year, and I finally want to get back to doing some stuff myself. And one thing I've kind of really been meaning to do, since I actually first started this channel, was go through a lot of the old Final Fantasy titles. And a lot of them I'm familiar with. I have played Final Fantasy 1 to complete times. There will be some that it will be my first time ever actually really playing. But here we go, we're going to be starting with Final Fantasy 1. I don't know how long I'll be going today. We are playing this on the Switch. Not bothering with any personal names on this. Going with the basics. We are playing, like I said, Final Fantasy 1. There's a lot of stuff that will become staples of this that aren't present in this one. This is before an actual NPC, where we have spell slots. It's very heavily based on Dungeons and Dragons concept. Don't currently have any magic. And even though we are playing the Pixel Remaster, which has drastically reduced some of the issues of the original. Let me wash up. There's still going to be a little bit of stuff that to work around. There will have to be a little bit of grinding. There's money to buy spells and gear. Right away I realized I made a mistake. Bought sleep when I didn't need it. Here is the more important spell. Right now we're going to do the standard Final Fantasy tactic of running around checking all the rooms in the castle, hoping that we can find some chests of loot. Which does not appear like we currently have access to anything. Oh, good. One thing I was uncertain of is whether the Pixel Remaster fixed a major issue of the first one. In the original Final Fantasy, if the target you had selected for one of the Warriors of Light dies, that Warrior of Light effectively loses their gun. They swing in an empty space. You may see that for Black Mage, it has Great Out Fire there. That is what it will do if I select auto battle as opposed to this. But now it will shoot thunder. As long as that is a possibility for this next action in battle, it'll do that if I select auto. unfortunately, Black Mage is now out of spell slots. I have to go rest and replace it. So we're going to show up the auto battle, hit the Y button, and it's going to just automatically do what it can, which in this case, for Black Mage, not too struggle. So it is. Like, unless I gain the spell slot, it's good. I'll have to look that up for what's going on there. Not have had casting. Weird. Oh, he must not have gotten me a chance to use fire previously. I'm paying attention to other systems right now. Oh, there it goes. Now it is default. I will, you know, normally when I'm doing stuff with my gaming, I tend to be grinding honestly. But honestly, I can actually when you say the grinding orientation is a part of the actual game. Right now we are primarily grinding money, which is always going to be used. Stuff like buying gear, spells, and sometimes you gotta rest at an inn. This will get us back spell slots or HP. And if we've leveled up, it'll actually give us that HP and MP that we gained from them, but didn't actually fill. These four guys are gonna teach you about the different things. I am old hat, so I'm not even gonna bother talking to them. What each of their specialities are. Another very nice change for the Pixel Remaster. You normally can't buy Phoenix Sounds in FF1. So being able to buy, in fact, most of this stuff in the first town, very nice. Oh, didn't go back in town. You may also notice it is saving every time we are entering an exiting town. Heather gives manuals. We will be done with it. And you have the ability to save. And that is the far more important save. There is also a quick save if you wanted to basically take a break wherever we are and not necessarily at a save point. But whereas a regular save could be loaded at any point, a quick save will only bring you back in from the main menu, and then it'll delete said quick save. Customer memory back on. Continue auto battle, so it'll know to do that. All speed run. There are boosts. We are not going to be using them. That may change as we go through the games. If that particular thing is very grindy, there's no reason to not just increase. rate for it. We are mostly here to experience the stories of the games. FF1 story is very light, so we're actually going to be doing a lot more of the actual gameplay itself. One thing of note, this isn't for the ATV. When you select auto battle, it does it for all 4 characters. In other ones, it would make for their ATV actually to pop up before actually. Currently, I'm saving magic for a boss. General trash right now does not quite work it. This would be a good time to actually use it. As is traditional of me, I actually changed my mind on something. We are going to be boosting to times on both money and experience. That'll be what I do in exchange for a top driver monster. Here's Garland, the first boss of the first Final Fantasy. was actually not expecting to not auto that. Not the loot one normally pursues, we'll take it anyways. I don't know why they had to do the entire scene for it, but okay. No pressure on us, you know, being the Warriors of Light, I guess. So, something that has come up in the conversation with the king is mention of the crystals. The elemental crystals are a very common plot point in the Final Fantasy series. We will see them many times as we go through this series. In the past, I probably would have been reading a bunch of dialogue and the narration. Unfortunately, a few years ago, because I did not take care of my health, I ended up in the hospital. During such a thing, I got intubated. definitely hear it in my voice. And you'll notice I kind of pause a little more often to actually take a breath. So, unfortunately, I will not be doing a lot of the reading out loud, which becomes less of a hassle once we get into further entries in the series, where voice acting is fairly prevalent. But that's a bit off, realistically, because we have many entries to go. I do intend to go through all of the mainline Final Fantasy for the most part. I will not be focusing on doing, though I may do some of them. I will not be doing MMOs. I play 14, but I am not doing 14 on. That's just a bit too. I will also be doing other RPG series. Persona series, Dragon Quest, Lunar is a title I'm looking forward to playing. Just a whole slew. I'm also not going to guarantee that I'm the only one on the stream. But for the time being, this is mostly solo while I try to sound out the game as well on very specific days and times. That is currently in the schedule. And I am currently working on how I will move my schedule as far as personal stream. Over the time, I will also be working on art prints, where I design posts and other art for the channel. Now we have our next objective. Get the crystal eye. You may wonder why I'm running into stuff and just like pausing at it. One of the things the Pixel remakes, or Pixel remasters, have added is if there's a hidden item in a clock or a pot, they'll actually put up a mark for they're using purchase. Hospitalization and intubation. Also, the reason I'm not going to be particularly involved. I will interact with people on screen, but I will not be doing a lot of talking normally. Pirates? actually, we can still rest at the inn while we're here. Most of the other shops are currently closed off because of said pirates. But we know how to deal with pirates. Yeah, just like that, we get a ship. Alright. Much like D&D, not only are there spell slots, there are spell levels. And we will have a certain amount of spell slots per spell level. Unfortunately, unlike in D&D, we cannot use a higher level spell slot to cast a lower level spell. Well, I want some equipment spells, so we're doing a little bit of grinding. Maybe I should have put the money up to 4 times. Oh, thank you very much. I'll lower the volume on that. Not gonna do it that way. So we'll just do it straight through OBS. How does that sound? Alright, thank you very much for the heads up. How you doing today, Bograt? Fair enough. I actually had trouble sleeping in today. Though I did actually go to bed a little early last night. Hopefully I should have the money I need for getting the upgrades. We can get the fun story. Also, man, the level ups have not been kind to the red mage as far as health goes. While I've played a bit of Final Fantasy 1, some of the systems I'm still kind of unsure of, such as how stats actually level up particularly. There definitely feels like there's a bit of RNG. Something I had considered doing instead of 6 or Remaster Final Fantasy 1, there is a fan-made mod for it that is called Final Fantasy Renaissance. And it adds a lot of the different classes from... oh, it's straight formula? Wow. Okay then. But Final Fantasy Renaissance adds a lot of classes that are from future Final Fantasy entries. That would make sense. After this should be a good time to go check purchases. Vitality divided by 4 minus plus 1. Okay, makes sense. As I was saying before regarding using the boosts, I will be using AP growth boost in Final Fantasy II, because that is something I don't particularly care to be grinding a lot of. Hey, as long as I want to keep attacking those two up top, that's fine. Now I try to remember where I'm supposed to be going. Wait, yeah, this is the other side of the mountain range. So yes. Oh, that's... Well, we'll see how this goes. That went pretty good. The amount of XP and money. Oh. So definitely an early game problem for Final Fantasy 1 is because there's no item that restores actual casting of magic, you do find yourself going back to town a little more often than you would in some titles. It's not bad yet, but the fact that no matter how I travel, I will be encountering stuff very quickly makes anyone that's magic focused kind of a detriment. Okay, there's where I'm supposed to. Of course, there's always the flea command. Holly-ho! Alright, with that, haven't really made a lot of progress in this area, but we did get more things that we need to find, which is fine. When we find them, we know where to go. Fighter early game is very much just unperturbed whatsoever from any of these attacks coming his way. Won't be the case when we start dealing with stuff that deals with magic. Oh, we're out of level 1s. But that's fine, because we're right back in Cornelia. There, that's what I'm looking for. Alright. One of the real nice things about the Pixel Remaster is it'll tell you when a location has chests you haven't found. Also tell you what shops there are. Oh, there's 6 treasures here. Pretty sure one's one I was thinking of before and didn't bother checking here for. A really good sword called the White Slayer, which if they hadn't kind of nerfed the stats of the monsters in that first area, absolutely would not have been able to do. Oh well, not here then. I don't remember where that is. Actually, I might be thinking Final Fantasy 3. Yeah, I'm thinking Final Fantasy 3. Alright, back south. Oh, yep, there, I think it's for the port. Shark! Unsurprisingly, shark hurts. Now I gotta figure out why my Elgato thing is telling me this space on seeing how I'm not recording. We'll figure that out. That hasn't stopped me streaming. Now I'm confused who that's a weapon for. You know, if we have a bunch of stuff to just outright sell. I think he resurrects if your character is dead and you don't. Once again, another item needed. This time a tincture which will wake up the slumbering elf prince. And we have been told of a dark elf Astos, who is somewhere causing problems. Did forget to have us keep at the end. Alright, we've gone for an hour, and I'm, once again, like I said, Elgato's stream interface is saying I have insufficient disk space. I think I'm going to take a look at that and figure out what's going on. that's going to be it for today's stream. Join me tonight on Sound Goblin Gaming as we continue Yakuza 0. And as far as specifically streaming on my channel, I don't know when we'll be doing it again, but I'm hoping to do it soon. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to next time.